let's connect today, March 26th, 2023, coming at you for the live stream. Walking Dead universe is definitely going strong here, so we'll wait for everything. I don't know why it says offline, but let's see what's going on here. I can't see my thing, so hey guys, hopefully you can see me all right. There you go. It's definitely a little delay with YouTube. I was like, what is that? So it says offline, but all right. All right, guys, what's going on? My PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, my fighters, and just everything in between. So thank you guys for being here. Some pretty big news for the Walking Dead universe. You know, it's March 26th. We don't have a show until May 14th, but WonderCon was yesterday, so we're going to talk about that. And a bunch of different topics. The Walking Dead Rick and Michonne show filming. If you see my videos, you know what we're going to talk about. No more Last of Us until probably next year. That series is done. And yeah, guys, so let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Let me know any shows or movies or anything that you're watching. My wife and I just finished a movie today. It's the one with Jason Statham. It's like Operation Fortune or something. It was okay. I felt like it was really long. But it was one of those movies that you're like, hey, Jason Statham. It's evidently a Guy Ritchie movie. And it's a decent movie. Definitely check it out if you like action when it comes on streaming stuff as well. So, yeah, guys, hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're safe and sound wherever you're at. And, you know, life is crazy things right now. We were watching basketball yesterday. My teams are out. But for those who don't know, I went to a college or university in South Florida for grad school, and they were actually in the national championship game for Division II basketball. And it was on CBS yesterday. So they ended up winning. Nova Southeastern is the college or university that I went to, and they were 36-0. They scored the most points ever in a national championship game for men's or women's in basketball, 111-101, which was great. And the other college that my wife went to is FAU in Boca, and they beat Kansas State yesterday in basketball, and it's just crazy. It was a crazy basketball day for us. But thank you guys for being a part of the live stream. We're going strong. Some people are talking about John Wick. So let's see, John Wick was okay, Bri. So Wilson, John Wick wasn't amazing because that's what people are saying, that it's awesome. I still think the first John Wick is probably going to be the best one out of all four. I haven't seen the fourth one yet. The second one is good. The third one, not so good compared to the first two. And we'll see about the fourth one. Carol says, hello, Bri. I'm in Georgia this week visiting my dad for his 82nd birthday. Well, happy birthday, Mr. Lott. I don't know your name, but very cool stuff for Carol's dad. But yeah, 82nd birthday. So he's above average. I always like to bring up the fact about, you know, the ages, the life expectancies for, you know, Americans in the United States. Obviously they are different now. They've gone down since COVID, but for a long time it was 78 years old for a male in the United States and 80 for a female, a woman. And so anybody that lives above 80 is above average. You know, if you're 75, 76, 77, you know, you're getting up there. That's about average. And, you know, I think that's definitely something to think about, not be concerned about, overly concerned, but I always think it's interesting about the law of averages and everything there too. Wilson says, no, not amazing, but was good, but the runtime is too long. That's annoying when a movie just feels long, right? Like they made a big deal about Avengers Infinity War or Endgame, and it doesn't, anytime I watch those movies, they don't feel long at all because so much stuff is happening and so many characters and so much stuff is going on that it doesn't feel like 3 hours, you know? But if a movie feels like that Operation Fortune, like I said, it's an hour and 50 minutes or so, maybe an hour and 53 minutes, hour 49, around there. It feels long. Like it just feels like story, this, drag it out, another part of a story. Okay, now they go here. Okay, now they go there. And you're like, just wrap it up. Just end it already. You know, it's just like, come on. But if it's 3 hours, I'm not worried about the run time too much. As long as it's exciting, interesting, and awesome, I don't really, not too worried about the run time. Carol says he's still working on top of buildings and construction, 82 years old. That's crazy. Well, more power to him. They always say, too, I deal with a lot of elderly patients as a physical therapist, and they keep saying, like, don't stop working. I wish I didn't stop working. I wish I worked longer. I wish I kept working. And, when you're retired, you got to have a purpose. It's like if there's no reason to wake up in the morning, why would you wake up? See your friends, see your family. You don't have a job, so you don't have to do that. You got to worry about money, managing your money, inflation, everything there too. It's just crazy. So I think that I would probably want to be like part-time working as I get older. I want to work a little bit, but not all the time. Get some extra money, some spending money, be able to pay the bills, and go on trips and vacations and have the ability to go do that. Open up your schedule as well. So it's what I've seen a lot of times where people don't really like it. If you don't have, like, I live in Florida, so you can golf, you can fish, you can hunt, you can do that. You can do a lot of things year round. But if you're living in different states and, it's crazy, you can't do things for a couple times of the year. Evo, Q&A. Hey, Bri, what do you think Morgan remembers Rick after all those years? And do you think he'll tell Grace about Alexandria? Or says, why do you think Morgan remembers Rick? Well, let's talk about the Fear the Walking Dead trailer. So it's an awesome trailer. I'm very excited for Fear the Walking Dead, more so than before the trailer. Watching the trailer, I'm like, yes, we're going to go back to King County and Morgan and Grace and Morgan and other, it's going to be awesome. But that being said, sometimes trailers are better than the actual series, and sometimes trailers stink and they're good. And, sometimes it's misleading, but it's the final season and a lot of stuff happens in the trailer. So we're going to talk about it for sure. Jonathan Wilder, Q&A. Did you hear that Rey Mysterio is going into the Hall of Fame or feel old yet? Well, I'm not I don't know Rey Mysterio's whole, career. I stopped watching really when Rey Mysterio was around there and the Attitude Era and the High Flying Era when we were doing all that stuff. But yeah, I think Rey Mysterio is probably going to retire at WrestleMania potentially. We'll see what happens with him and his son, but we'll see how it goes down. But WrestleMania is coming up, and how many days till WrestleMania? John, let me know in the chat. So we got to talk about. There's a couple things we got to talk about here. So yesterday at WonderCon was. Let me answer this question about Mayor of Kingstown. Michael Singer says, did you enjoy Mayor of Kingstown finale? I did. I liked it. The season was kind of a little crazy for me with Mike and Bunny and this and that and the gangs in New York and going to prison. It was just a little crazy for me. It was a little too much. And then Iris and Milo and it was just like what happened with that, and then the phone call and stuff. It was good. It was good. I just don't know what they're going to do because of Jeremy Renner getting injured and stuff, and I just can't help but wondering, on there as well about that too. So, Carol Q&A, Bri, if they are sending Morgan to Georgia, how likely or realistic is it to run into Rick? Jonathan Waters says 6 more days till WrestleMania, so this Saturday, so it's April 1st. Oh man, coming up, John. I'll have to check that out a little bit this weekend too. But Morgan going back to Georgia is evident in the trailer. So the theories, the speculation, the guesses, the ideas, whatever you want to call it, before the stuff is making everybody happy because it's there, right? So Morgan going back to Georgia is awesome. It connects the Morgan character with his story arc. Does it connect things with Rick, The Walking Dead? Not really, because Rick is not there. Rick is in Philadelphia. So wherever Padre is, we still don't know. Is it Louisiana, Mississippi, Panhandle of Florida, Georgia, whatever? We don't really know exactly where Padre is. I'm sure it'll be explained to us. But Georgia is connected with The Walking Dead, mainly with Rick and Morgan, everything there too. So it fits Morgan very well. Maybe we see Eastman's cabin, maybe we see the prison, maybe we get to see a bunch of things. But again, the trailer highlighted it. It highlighted the house with Rick, with Morgan, with Dwayne. And I don't know how it's going to connect with Rick, because it shouldn't, because Rick is in Philadelphia, very far away from Georgia. But I do think that Morgan going back home, getting away from Padre, obviously, we know he's going to, I think majority, like I said before, time and time again, I think the majority of people from Fear the Walking Dead are going to survive. They're going to make it to the possibility of other shows. We know Morgan definitely is, because Morgan don't die. Morgan can't die. Lenny James is very important to the Walking Dead universe, and we all want to see Rick and Morgan, right? I mean, if we don't get to see a Rick and Morgan reunion at the very end of the Walking Dead universe, is going to be a little frustrating, because it started with Rick and Morgan. It should end with Rick and Morgan. It should end with Rick. It should end with Michonne, Judith, RJ, the Grimes people, the family, Commonwealth, whatever. Still think they got to battle CRM, building up to that. Don't know if it's going to happen. It should happen, in my opinion. But I think everybody wants to see Rick and Morgan get back together. Morgan has his people now. He has his family, which I think was highlighting the fact that Morgan has his family now at the end of his story compared to the beginning of his story, because Morgan lost his wife, he lost Dwayne, and now he has Grace, which I don't know if they get married or not, but he has his girlfriend or spouse or significant other or whatever you want to call her, and his daughter now, Morgan. So he has a daughter instead of a son. So it's kind of come full circle. Morgan is probably never going to let Morgan out of his sight, because he doesn't want to lose another child. He probably doesn't want to lose Grace. He'll do anything to protect them. But it would come full circle in a terrible way if Morgan lost Grace and Morgan, or Mo, whatever you want to call her. Let's call her Mo, right? So I don't want to see that. But it would come full circle if he lost his family again on there too. Jonathan Waller says, Q&A, I heard that all 3 spinoffs are going to be 1 season and 6 episodes for each of the true or not true. So right now we just know that they're 1 season of 6 episodes. That doesn't mean by any means that it's going to be one and done. The early word is that Dead City got picked up for a 2nd season. So right off the bat, pun intended, no, I'm just kidding, with Negan and Maggie, 6 episodes, another 6 episodes because The Walking Dead was 6 episodes. The first season is 6 episodes. Then it went to 13, then it went to 16, then it went extended, and then it went, So we could get longer seasons. Should we get longer seasons? Will we get it? I don't know. Will we get multiple seasons? I think so. It doesn't make sense for the Maggie Negan stuff to be 6 episodes. That's not a long enough story. The Rick and Michonne story is definitely not long enough, in my opinion, if you want to do it right, for 6 episodes. And the Daryl stuff, I think, could be 6 episodes, and then he gets another show or another thing with that, because Daryl in France, that could be done in 6 episodes. I think that's the only one I think could be done in 6 episodes, but I think it'll be multiple seasons. They want to continue on with the cash cow. Daryl, Maggie, Negan, Rick, Michonne, Carol, whoever else they want to bring around. They want to bring people around. They want to keep it going. Like The Last of Us, there's been a lot of talk of what's going to happen in the 2nd season, the 2nd game, Abby, Joel, Ellie, Dina, all these characters, right? I think they're going to keep Pedro Pascal as Joel for another season, if not 2, because you don't want to get rid of Pedro. You don't want to get rid of Joel. Pedro he's a big-time actor right now. He's everybody. He's America's new sweetheart. People love him. Love him on Mandalorian. You love him on Narcos. You love him on this. You love him on Game of Thrones. You love him on, So keep him around. Keep him alive. You can have, you can kill him off and then have him be in, flashbacks and stuff, and he still is in a bunch of episodes. But it's not the same when it's flashbacks and cameos, right? It's really not. So the idea that we want to have, these Walking Dead universe shows go on long and long and longer, but I want it to be done right. Like, I don't care if a show is 6 episodes or 12 episodes or 2 seasons or 3 seasons or whatever. It just needs to be rewarding, right? Like, I don't think anybody is thinking, oh, it needs to be this, it needs to be that. Well, maybe some people are. Like, some people think that we need to have as many shows and as many things as long as possible, but then it feels too stretched out. It gets watered down. They have to introduce crazy things or crazy stuff that it really doesn't really make sense. But, so I don't know. So the word is that, sorry, I got off tangent there a little bit. We got off, that we're going to have a second season of Dead City because that filmed first and then it wrapped. Then there was a word that they're already going to start filming the Daryl show for the second season, but then I believe Norman Reedus was back in New York, so he's taking a break, or he's going to do that. Then they're going to film again, or there, because he flew back from Europe to New York to be with his fiance and daughter. There's a picture, I think, of him with on Instagram of his daughter putting lipstick and stuff on his face. It's pretty funny, and so he's home for a little bit. Not sure how long the break's going to be, when they're going to start filming and this and that. But again, the Walking Dead universe is going to be a lot of information, a lot of misinformation, a lot of confirmed information, a lot of crazy stuff that a lot of people heard from a source that said this, that this is going to happen there, that Rick's going to be there, and Morgan's going to join this, and Daryl's going to be there, and then Carol's going to join. There's a bunch of stuff. So we have to weed through the BS, and the right stuff will come out. When we get pictures, when we get information, it'll definitely come out. But be careful what you read and careful what you definitely see on YouTube and social media, that's for sure. So we don't know exactly what the future holds for these spinoffs just yet, but I think they're going to keep it going. There's no way they're going to do 6 episodes of the Rick and Michonne show, see you later. 6 episodes of the Daryl show, see you later. 6 of Maggie and Negan, done. No. They're going to stretch this out for as long as possible. We're going to get this done as long as possible. We need to have the story unfold, develop, answer questions, set up questions, reunions, bing, bada, boom, and that takes time. That is not going to be done in 6 episodes, in my opinion. If they decide to do it in 6 episodes, that'll be done probably in a very rushed manner, right? So we don't like feeling rushed, or we don't. It's the same thing with the John Wick thing. 3-hour time, like Wilson said. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know how it feels. But we don't want to feel like it's dragging on and it's taking forever. And at the same side, in the same light, we don't want it to feel rushed. Well, that was super short, or that was too long. It's got to be just right? But that's tough to do. It's easy to say, hard to do all the time. And they're not going to get everything right. The spinoffs are probably going to be decent, maybe good. I don't know how great they're going to be, and I hope they are great. But I just realistically thinking, spinoffs of things, I don't know. It's just something we'll have to see. And let me see. TWD news. Any idea of the Dead City trailer? So I don't know. I didn't see the WonderCon panels. I just do know that they had some first look photos that have been going around. They talked about a new character, which I believe is named Armstrong. It's the black guy with the outfit that has the wanted sign of Negan. I believe his name's Armstrong, and he's going after, Negan, obviously, as we knew from the thing. But other than that, I don't think we saw the new trailer. The thing they posted, the Walking Dead on YouTube posted, was the same 14, 15 second thing that we saw with Negan and the walkers falling, and then it's like, they're falling from the sky now. Nothing new. That's kind of the same thing we saw before. I didn't see a new trailer, but we saw previous things, previous trailers. Fear the Walking Dead had a teaser, and now they had a final trailer. I would assume we can get another trailer for Dead City, because if you guys haven't seen my latest video, or you haven't, Dead City premieres on June 18th. So we got to get through the rest of March. So we got to get through April and May. So that's 2 months. And then we got to get through half of June. So that's 2.5. And then next week. So almost 3 months away. So 3 months away for that to happen. There can be other trailers and other stuff there too. The other thing I think is very interesting is that if you do the calendar, if you look at the calendar, so we have May 14th is a Sunday. So that would be episode 1 of Fear the Walking Dead. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I keep hitting the wrong button. 5. Wait, let me see. Let me go back. So technical difficulties here. Sorry, I messed this all up. So we have May 14th. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 6th episode will be June 18th for Fear the Walking Dead. So the mid-season finale. Mid-season finale is going to be, because it's 12 episodes. So 6 episodes, the 6th episode will be there. And that same day, June 18th, is Fear the Walking Dead, I'm guessing, at 9 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock, they really need to put it at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. They need to do that, because to watch Fear the Walking Dead from 9 to 10 and then Dead City from 10 to 11, to be done watching TV at 11 o'clock at night on the East Coast is tough. Now, if you live on the West Coast and you're in California or Arizona or Vegas or whatever, you're going to make out much better than people on the East Coast. But we'll see what times they do. We'll see what they do for it. I don't know if AMC Plus is going to have the episodes early, but that's a big day. That's a big day, is June 18th, because we have the mid-season finale, which probably will be something big happens, because they love to do that. So the premieres, finales, they do. Those are the biggest episodes typically on The Walking Dead. And then the premiere of Dead City, season 1, episode 1, the pilot episode of that too. So it should be a very exciting day for that if they do it right. But it's kind of a lot to take in on June 18th if we have 2 pretty big episodes: the mid-season finale of Fear and the premiere of Dead City. Phantom Deluxe says, "Hey, bro, I just came back from vacation." So Phantom Deluxe, where did you go? Did you go somewhere tropical or staycation, or what'd you do? Rob K says, I YouTube searched WonderCon, and one of the first vids listed was that of some guy's armpit. The algorithm is broken. So, yeah, I don't know what's up with YouTube and whatever and stuff. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I just keep making videos, putting stuff out. And I can't worry about how many people watch the videos or view the videos or how many people are getting the algorithm, because that's YouTube's thing. That's YouTube's whatever they're going to do, right? I just know that I'm working hard on getting videos, information, and putting it out for the people who want to have it. And we're still going strong with the Walking Dead universe. So like I said, the Fear the Walking Dead trailer really made me excited for Fear the Walking Dead. I was like, let's just wrap up the show. Let's end the show. Let's get it done. Move it along. 8 seasons is way too long for this show. But then we watch Morgan, and we watch this, and we watch Padre, and we watch Dwight and Sherry and Madison and this. We don't see Charlie, which I find interesting. And a lot of people are like, where's Strand? Where's Strand? Where's Strand? Well, I don't need to see Strand. I don't like Strand. Strand has been the most overdone character on that show. But he's in there somewhat. I think he's wearing his Garrison thing with his sword and whatever. So I don't know. People have some pictures of it somewhere on there too. But he's going to be there. Coleman Domingo clearly has a new haircut. He's filmed with, on set. He's been with pictures with Madison and Daniel and everything. Luciana too. We don't see Luciana. We see Daniel. The big questions is Althea going to come back around? Is Alicia going to come back around? And what happens with Charlie and Madison? That's the bigger questions too. So Xavier May says, do you think Strand will be alive in Fear because we haven't seen him in the trailers? That's funny. I just brought that up. Yeah, we're going to see Strand. Strand will be fine. Strand will make it to the very end. Do you think we will get a trailer for Rick and Michonne's series this year? For sure. We're definitely going to get a trailer for Rick and Michonne's series this year, because if it's going to premiere early next year, which my guess is February, we're going to probably get... If they were smart, they would get something at Comic-Con. It'll be the Walking Dead Universe panel. They'll have a couple of different things. I don't think they need multiple panels. They need one Walking Dead Universe panel, and they could have something there in July. Because it's been filming now for a while. Rick and Michonne show. Summit. We'll just call it Summit. And we got this last week of March. And so if we go February, they started filming. So we're going to finish in March. They've been filming for about a month now, right? And then, so if it's 2 weeks per episode, 6 episodes, 12 weeks, they'll film in 3 months. They'll be done in 3 months. So you got February, March, April, and probably early into May. By May, the first season will be done. You got June, and then July is Comic-Con. It's usually middle July is the typical, there. So they could definitely have something for that, and they need to. You could have a little teaser. You don't need to have much to have people talking, but it's awesome. Kami says, Knock at the Cabin is on Peacock now. Yep, I saw it there this week. Pretty cool stuff. I feel like it's pretty early for that too, to be honest. But definitely go check it out. If you have access to the streaming network Peacock, it's NBC's streaming service. Definitely watch Knock at the Cabin. It's worth watching. Fan Deluxe Q&A. Do you think the non-CRM characters like Rick's group, Madison's group, and some other characters will form a single alliance against CRM? I hope so. Right? But again, I don't write for The Walking Dead. But I would have it be all the survivors that they want to get together, that are going to film, that survive, that are still alive in The Walking Dead universe, fight the CRM. Come together to battle the CRM. They need to do that. The CRM is the big bad. It's definitely do it. Definitely come together. Jonathan Wilder, Q&A. If I was to finally give Fear a shot, which I probably won't, but if I do, should I start from Morgan's story? Yeah, I mean, you kind of got to get familiar with the Clarks. That's Madison, Alicia, Nick. But I mean, you don't really need to. I mean, when Morgan comes on the show in season 4, it's like a reboot. It's like a redo. They're like, yeah, get rid of those first 3 seasons. They don't mean nothing. Get that out of here. So you probably could. You could probably start with season 4. Start just with Morgan and John Dory and stuff, and season 4 is not terrible. It's okay, but to me, season 6 of this. I really hope season 8 is the best, if not one of the best, of Fear the Walking Dead. It needs to go out on the highest of highs, the best thing possible. Get the writers who wrote season 6, ghost writers, new writers, this writers, shadow writers, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, get it there too. So, Isaiah, Rick looks pissed in that scene with Jadis. Don't worry, I'm definitely going to talk about that. The Rick Jadis filming in New Jersey, Hamilton Park, Michonne. So, right now, we've seen pictures of Rick, Jadis, Michonne, King Batch, which I believe is named Bailey, but I don't know if that's his real name or not on the show, the character name. And the new character, is it like Pearl Thorne? I want to say her character name is Thorne. But we've seen some new characters. And so we get to see an open air market and some of this and some etching on the CRT TVs. That's basically the same as the iPhone. So pretty cool. Really cool stuff. And then we definitely want to talk about that thing on Rick's pants. Something. It's a pager. It's a camera. It's a walkie-talkie. It's a radio. I don't know. It's what do you think it is? We'll talk about that too. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Fear the Walking Dead is just, it's a shame because when I watched the trailer, I'm like, man, this show, imagine if it started with Morgan. So you start the show off with the Clarks and you do this and you do that and you want to start something fresh. I get it. You want to start somewhere new. But dysfunctional family not connecting with the Walking Dead at all is just a huge misstep. It's a huge thing that is like, man, it just doesn't make sense. And then we get to see Morgan goes home. So what did Morgan do? He left. Right? So Morgan basically left Virginia, went all the way to Texas, somehow, somewhere, for some reason, and then came all the way back to Georgia to come full circle. Why didn't he just go to Georgia? Why did Morgan not just make his way down to Georgia? Go back home. It would have been great. Instead, we went to Texas and met this and then the nukes and then over there. And then he gets shot by Jenny. Folks call me Jenny. Like, yeah, great. It's just like a crazy stuff. Like, it just was like, what is going on here? Like, it's such a mess, a hodgepodge mess of stuff that doesn't really, I don't know. It's just frustrating to the whole series of Fear the Walking Dead. It's had its moments. And like I'm never gonna go back and watch Fear the Walking Dead. And there's times where I'll watch parts of The Walking Dead episode. Oh, this is a good one. This is when such and such happens here. This and that, on there too. It's good. But Fear the Walking Dead, I'm like, I ain't gonna watch any of that stuff because it's all over the place and it's crazy. And there's really nothing that really jumps out at me until Morgan comes there and John Dory and June and, Althea. And it's just like things pick up there where it kind of comes back around. And, ultimately what was I've always asked, what's the end game for Fear the Walking Dead? So we know the end game for Morgan is he goes back home to Georgia. I don't know how the house looks such good shape. No one went in there and scavenged it, robbed it, and did anything. It looks pretty. It looks pretty good. But probably it has to be so we recognize it from there. But it's one of those things where you're like, what's the end game for Madison, Strand, Daniel, Sherry, Dwight? All these questions. I hope they got answers. From the trailer, makes me think that they do. But what do you think? Do they have answers? Will Fear the Walking Dead end in a way for a lot of characters that makes sense? What do you think? So hard, let me see. So people are saying it's a prison tracker, it's a camera, it's a pager. But yeah, we'll talk about that too. Let me answer a couple of these questions, then we're going to talk about the Rick and Michonne thing for sure. Q&A, why do you think Morgan remembers Rick after all those years out of nowhere? Because he went back home to his house. He remembers Rick, remembers the rifle. He remembers all those things. The rifle that he couldn't use to kill his wife with, or his zombie wife with. He couldn't do those things, so he remembers things. It's kind of like a flashback thing of the sequences there too, and hopefully we get to see that. And I think we will. I think we'll get to see those moments too. Hard Nixie says, why not go back to Georgia for Morgan in? He was on Fear because of the bad memories, the loss of his wife. Sure, but he's going back there anyway. So why go back now, right? Why go to Texas? Why not go to Chicago or some other place like that? Why not go to a better place? Why not go to Florida? Why not go somewhere else? Why? How does he end up in Texas? Because Fear the Walking Dead cast was there. That's why. But so ultimately he does all that to go back home anyway. That's why too. So ultimately he's over it now. Why? What's going to happen to make him get over it? It's cool that we get to understand that he's coming back home. But you're right. If I have, trauma that I don't want to relive, I'm never going back to a house that was there. I'm going to burn that house down in the zombie apocalypse. Go get some, gasoline, throw it in there, and burn it down. So it's done. The memories are going away too. But evidently, he's going back there, and it doesn't really matter enough to him to do it. So but my point is, why do it now, all those seasons, just to come back to there? Because it fits the story, but for the character, it's one of those things where maybe we're overthinking it, maybe we're not. So either way, it's just, I guess, a open-ended question. Jonathan Wilder Q&A, do you think Rick will have another child with another he's not going to have any more kids. I doubt that. Do you think we'll see RJ and Judith in season 2 of Summit? I don't know. If that's going to be the final season, possibly. But it'll probably be the end game of it. But Kaylee Presley Fleming just had a birthday yesterday. Her birthday is March 25th. She's 16 years old. So look how older Judith is going to be with all this time jump. 2 years here, 7 years here, this, that, all these time jumps, all these different things. What's going to be the actual timeline? It gets confusing. So Dead City is 2 years after The Walking Dead, which was a year after the end of that. So 7 years for Fear the Walking Dead to catch up, to do this. And yeah, you can just have drastic timelines where, it's 7 years. Boom, hey, magically we're there at the same timeline when the Commonwealth is taken over by a group. But then you still have a year or 2 years to catch up with, Negan and Maggie on Dead City. And then also the Rick and Michonne stuff. What timelines are there going to be from Rick went away in season 9 and then Michonne in season 10 and then Rick was there, Michonne, it's just going to be a bunch of things. How much time has gone by? Rick's got to be patched up because he's walking around, like good, but it's going to be a little confusing. It could be, unless it's explained very well, and The Walking Dead tends to kind of not explain everything too. Kimberly says, why in the world would Morgan not remember Rick? I don't know. He definitely has to remember Rick. I mean, it wouldn't make sense, right? I agree. Charles says, Q&A, do you think Dwight and Sherry will head east? Well, they would probably head north if they're already east. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where Padre is and all that stuff. I don't know how it really affects where Morgan goes. Does the rest of the group come as well, or just Grace and Mo? I don't know. I mean, I would think, I've said before that I think Dwight and Sherry should go north and then run into Negan and Maggie by chance. They don't need to hang out with them or whatever, and it would be an interesting dynamic to see that come around full circle as well. And maybe Sherry, Dwight, and Negan have an interaction and what actually happens there too. Let me see. So, okay, a bunch of good stuff there. So we talked about Dead City. Let me say, I was talking about before, Armstrong is the black guy that's in the black outfit that has the wanted thing that is going after Negan. So it sounds like a lot of people are writing on Instagram and Facebook and social media that he is going after Negan because of what Negan did as the leader of the Saviors. So Negan's past is coming around again, and I guess, Armstrong wants Negan to pay for what he did because maybe Armstrong was a savior, or maybe he was a low-level savior, or maybe the Saviors came in and killed a bunch of people and he was one of the survivors that the Saviors came. It would be a pretty cool character to have that come be a character that Negan has to pay for what he did. He has redemption with our group, but not everybody, right? The Saviors were probably terrible to a lot of people, and if Armstrong was one of those people that he wronged, what's going to happen with that? Is Armstrong going to actually hurt Negan? Does Maggie help Negan? Does Maggie save Negan? Does Armstrong die because Negan resorts to his old ways to protect himself? I doubt Negan's going to die, especially for a new character like that. But maybe it was Simon who did it and not Negan. Maybe it was somebody that actually did stuff out of order where Negan would never order what was done. But his, people, his lieutenants or his, people that were in charge did that. Like Simon was definitely worse than Negan, and Simon did stuff that probably Negan did not allow, and that's why Negan ended up killing Simon. So it definitely could happen that way, and I think that'll probably be it. Because Negan's not going to die, right? I mean, come on, if we're getting a second season and it's the Negan and Maggie show, Negan can't die, is if we're going to continue with those characters too. Xavier says, do you think Annie's okay and the kid? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? That's a big question that we've been asking since Annie was not seen in the season 11 finale, the final episode of The Walking Dead. We still don't know. Even though Angela Kang did say that they shot a scene that we didn't get to see it and they wanted to put it in, but then time constraints and blah, blah, blah. And so we didn't get to see it, but there was something that is out there for Annie that has to be talked about. They have to explain what happened with Annie and Negan's child. Are they still alive? Did they die? Did they get captured? How does Negan know about Herschel being kidnapped? Does Negan know the person or people who took Herschel? There's just a lot of questions. Why does Maggie not have Elijah by her side and her Mercer and Commonwealth troopers and whoever else would be there to back Maggie up? People of Hilltop unite to go after the people who took Herschel. Instead, we get Negan. Okay, great. But why does it make sense? Will it make sense? We'll have to see. That's just a question that remains to be seen because we have not seen it yet. But come June 18th, 2023 of this year, we will be watching the first of 6 episodes of Dead City, and I'm excited to see if and how, when, and why stuff is answered on the show. Jonathan Wilder Q&A, remember when Nebraska was a big deal in season 2? How come that never went nowhere? Well, it did, but it didn't. So that would have been the thing for Fear the Walking Dead to go upon is Nebraska, the story of Nebraska. I heard Nebraska is nice. Instead, they skipped it all the way to the world beyond. That is what they did with the campus colony and that story with that. And then CRM just decided to kill them and Monument Day and stuff. And that's like the one of the laziest ways to get rid of characters or to just skip over stuff. They're like, yep, this group comes in and boop, everybody dead. Okay, let's move along. No, they're dead. Remember those characters? No, they're dead. They don't make sense. No, we don't need them anymore. Just they killed them off. CRM, bad guys, very powerful. Killed those off. Yep, boop, gone. When in doubt, send the CRM or a bunch of walkers in. Kill them off. Later. See ya. So that's where they kind of covered the Nebraska stuff. And it's a simple, small little part of The Walking Dead in season 2 in a bar. I hear Nebraska's nice. And they're like, Nebraska is nice. So, and then they opened up a whole thing of a whole world with that, which was kind of cool. And World Beyond, 2 seasons of 10 episodes, should have been longer, could have been longer. They really did some things for the CRM story, but not enough, in my opinion. Xavier says, do you think it was just easier for season 12 than spinoffs? Well, not really, because you can't have so what are you going to have? An episode of Negan and Maggie, and then an episode of Daryl, and then an episode of Rick, and then an episode of Fear. You can't have all these jumbled stuff. These spinoffs are centered around a smaller group of characters. They're not there to take place of The Walking Dead. They're there to continue the Walking Dead universe and focus on smaller aspects of character development and things that are there. I think it's done for financial reasons. It's done for continue the Walking Dead universe, but at a much cheaper rate there, I would assume. And it keeps people interested. They're not getting 12, 13, 16 episodes. They're getting 6. That's it. 6 episodes. It's not even half a season of The Walking Dead. It's like it's like a small commitment to see. It's kind of like putting your toe in the water. Be like, is this going to work? Is this temperature good? Do people still care about it? Nope. Okay. 6 episodes. See ya. Ivo Q&A, do you think Dead City and Daryl will have CRM in them? Yeah, for sure. Well, I don't know about Dead City. They all need to have CRM involved. That's what it needs to be. It needs to be CRM centric. And I think Daryl's story makes sense to have that over there too, especially with the French CDC. Phantom Deluxe, have you watched 2012? It's probably the best disaster movie. Yeah, I've seen 2012. It was okay because it was a big deal. 2012 was a big deal with the Mayan calendar and all that stuff. And I had a friend in high school that was talking about it. Was so funny. I'm not that old, but it takes me back to, remember Y2K? That was a big deal. And the same friend was worried about Y2K because they were like, the computers aren't going to know if it's 1900 or 2000. So planes are going to fall out of the sky and stuff's going to stop working and electricity is going to stop working because of a code error, because of 00 instead of 1900 or 2000 or whatever. None of that happened. Crisis averted. None of those things that I know of happened. The other thing was the next conspiracy was the Mayan calendar, and that was involved with 2012 and how it was supposed to run out. I think it was around my birthday in December, and that's when it was supposed to be, and blah, 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 and then nothing happened, and now we're in 2023 and still nothing there too. So it's definitely something that 2012 is a little over the top. It's a little cheesy ending. It's just not. I still think, if you want to say disaster movies, if you consider Armageddon a disaster movie, I still love Armageddon is one of my, it's like cheesy and over the top and it doesn't really make sense. Like, why didn't you just teach the drilling to the astronauts? But instead you have the drillers become astronauts because it's like the everyday guy and everyday person to do it. Man, we're going back to graduating high school. I graduated here, I graduated there too. So, but I think and that's kind of an inspiration for some of the things too, is the Armageddon movie. So, all right, guys. Well, hopefully you guys, I want to give a quick book update while I got you here. So I've worked on the cover, front and back of book 18, which will be titled Fight for Us Atonement. It'll be out. We're trying to shoot for April because I have 2 chapters left to edit. And then my wife she's on chapter 3 of 18. And then I'm going to go through and edit one more time. And I excited to get this book out because it connects the dots even more so than The Island from the In 100 Days story. And it just really is a story that I'm really excited to share with you guys. And we're getting close because, again, I wanted to have 20 books. And I'm already having ideas down for book 19. So I'm excited for that to share with you guys too. So we're getting there. We're getting there for sure. Xavier May says, I think you should do a rewrite of The Walking Dead. I don't know if we need a rewrite of it. I think you could have some changes, but I don't think you have to do a whole rewrite. You could have some like little things that you would do differently here and there. Like I would never have killed Glenn and Abraham. I would have killed just Glenn myself, because that really opens up the story for Maggie and Negan and this, and that's kind of what, because without Glenn's death, the whole thing with Maggie is not that important, but Abraham sticks around for the war, and it's there too. So, yeah, and The Walking Dead, The Next Generation too. So, Mike says, I wish I could read your books one day. Yeah, well, Mike, if they're on paperback and digital on Kindle. So if you get a Kindle, they're much more affordable on Kindle. The first book is like 99 cents on Kindle. So if you ever get one of those, and paperback versions are available, and wherever you live and where you're there, you can just download it from Amazon, and it's there. So it's definitely something that's there, and they're going to be available for a long time too. So yeah, I don't know about iPhone. I just know the Kindle app, maybe on the Kindle app on there too, but it might be a little too small to read on the iPhone. I don't know. My books are 6x9, which is a good size for it too. So yeah, Lindsay says the Kindle app for any device, totally worth it. Yeah, like I said, the first book is 99 cents on Kindle. Xavier May, do you think Jadis will die in Summit? It doesn't make sense. Well, definitely not in the first season, so let's talk about the Rick and Michonne thing. Thank you for the segue. I do not think Jadis will die, for sure. So I think that, if you saw the recent filming in New Jersey, well, have you guys seen it? Have you guys seen the videos and all the stuff on there too? It's pretty cool stuff. Pretty great photos of Rick, Michonne, and Jadis. Well, see, Rick and Jadis are actually filming together, and Michonne is filming her own thing, which we still haven't seen Rick and Michonne film together, which I kind of want to see that. I kind of want to see where Rick and Michonne interact with that too. But, of course, we all want to see that, right? So Rick is wearing a CRM jacket, jeans, boots. He's got like a white shirt underneath, and he's got this black rectangle thing on his clip to his front pants pocket. And a lot of people are wondering what that is. Is it a pager? Is it a camera? Is it a tracker? Is it a walkie-talkie? Is it a radio? Is it something or two? We just don't know. But it's definitely on when he's filming. Some people are like, it's a pager for him to get back to set. Well, I kind of laughed at those comments because I'm like, what year is this? No one's going to have a pager for that. They'll have an assistant come get him, or be in his trailer on there too. But he's definitely filming with it on. So there's the one scene that you probably have seen on all social media where he's standing there and he's looking up at somebody and he's like, and he turns around and starts walking away. And in that scene, he has the thing attached to his pants. And he's walking down a path in a park, and he looks to his right, and then Jadis and whatever she's calling herself in the show, because she'll probably have a new name. She comes talking to Rick, and she's got this big jacket and boots and pants, and she's covered up, and it's cold, so it's in New Jersey in March. So they're walking and they're talking, and there's another part where there's two other parts that Rick gets in her face and is like, oh yeah, but we can't hear what he's saying, but he doesn't like that. He looks back and someone goes and he's back in her face like, blah, blah, probably because he's like, I never told you to rescue me, or I never told you to save me. I got to get back to my family now. What are you doing? You got me trapped here. Something like that is what I assume the dialogue would be about. And then the other thing, he's like walking really fast and Jadis is going after him. They're walking. He's trying to get away. And then we don't see anything after that. But there's like a bunch of shops and vendors and marketplace, and it looks cool. And if you know my book series, Fight for Us, you know that I love a marketplace and a thing. Like, that's definitely something like in a trading environment is definitely cool to see where the world is going with goods and services and stuff there too. So that's a big thing. It's like Rick and Jadis are filming, which makes sense because Jadis saved Rick and then Rick was going to be back and then Jadis is there, but Jadis has long hair like she did in season 9 of The Walking Dead. So she doesn't have that terrible short haircut like she did on World Beyond. And she's also not in the black attire. She's not, I don't know, a lieutenant or whatever she was on the World Beyond. So her rank, she didn't rank up there yet. What's up, Andre? So we don't get to see, how she ranked up yet. Does it? Because she's just in regular clothes. She's buying something at a vendor or whatever. Blah. She doesn't have the all black attire, the CRM gear, the CRM look. We don't know what happens there. Does she do something with Rick to rank up, to get in good favor with the CRM? She's got to do something because she wasn't anything in the military until the World Beyond. So the time for when Rick went away in The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 5, to Jadis being on the World Beyond, there's a time jump there. There's a pretty big time jump because Monument Day on World Beyond is 10 years, I believe, into the zombie apocalypse. If I'm right, 10 years there. And I don't think in Season 9, Episode 5, when Rick went away, we didn't have that time jump yet. We didn't hit the 10-year mark in the zombie apocalypse of The Walking Dead. When Rick goes away, then we see Magnus Group, older Judith. There's a time jump there of a couple years. Say it's 5 years. So the 5 years between Rick went away and then older Judith, what happened in that 5 years? I would assume Rick had surgery and he was saved and he was this, and he's got the CRM jacket like other people do. He's not the only one wearing that CRM jacket. Other people around the market are, and we don't see Michonne at the market, but she has one of those CRM jackets. And she's also along with 5 other people that are wearing jeans and the CRM jacket. So what does the jacket represent? Workers, certain status, certain area. I would assume employees of the world of the CRM or the Civic Republic, not the CRM. So again, the CRM is the Civic Republic military. The CR is the Civic Republic. And if you know the other video that I shared about the other thing, there's the CRP. The Civic Republic of Philadelphia is what we're guessing that stands for, because that whole area is supposed to be Philadelphia, even though it's filmed in New Jersey. North Jersey, by the way, not even South Jersey. But the fact that we're getting to see Rick and Michonne in the same outfit makes me wonder, and Michonne is with people. She's with 5 other people. Rick is by himself, and then he's with Jadis, right? So Michonne has a bunch of people with her. I'm guessing those people stole jackets, infiltrated the Civic Republic, do what they have to do to get in there, get the jackets, blend in, and try to find Rick. And those people that are with her are the people from the Western civilization people, those people with the wagons and stuff that we saw. I'm guessing. It's just a thought process. But we're getting more and more stuff with it. The timeline of stuff needs to be explained, and I'm sure it will. With Andy and Denai being involved with the show, I think they're producers or directors, and they're heavily involved with it. Besides, it's definitely something that is excited for the future of it. And like I said before, I'm most excited about the Rick and Michonne show, but Fear the Walking Dead Season 8 looks good. The Dead City one, it's got my interest, and so does Daryl's show for sure. Let me see. Yeah, Warrant Officer Stokes in The World Beyond. So again, she had a different name. Well, we just had her last name, Officer Stokes. Which is actually Gabriel Stokes. Father Gabriel Stokes is his last name too. Jonathan Wilder, Q&A. Do you think Daryl will join the CRM? He's always joining another group. Well, if he's joining them, he's getting captured by them too. When in doubt, capture Daryl. That's what happens to Daryl. Daryl gets taken as prisoner. Carol, I appreciate the comments. She wrote, support the writer. That's me. $12, $13 is not much, and you get to go back to the excitement of churning a page like olden days. Bry's an intelligent, imaginative writer. If Kindle's better, it's appreciated too. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a writer. I just am portraying a story that I think fits. It works. Hopefully my writing has gotten better. Carol is a great supporter of the book series, among other people too, and I truly appreciate that. I can't do it without the support and the help and the guidance and everything there. And just like anything, if you start something, you're not going to be the best at it, right? I wasn't the best writer when I started, but writing, with 17 books out for Fight For Us and then 3 books for In 100 Days, I have 20 books out. 18, there'll be Atonement, they'll come out there. So I'll be 20 plus books with my latest release this year. Hopefully the books have gotten better, have improved, and have just been a fun, exciting journey that you join with Ryan and his group of people. And I've said it before, they're loosely based on my friends, my family, my cats, it's just people have wanted to be in the book series, and hopefully I've done a good job incorporating them into different characters in there as well. I have a new character that's going to be joining Atonement, the next book, and I'm excited for that to be put down for the character to join that universe, and hopefully the character will stick around for a long time. And it's one of those things where I do like having characters join the story, and then I want to keep them around. I don't like having characters just join for a certain thing. And that was one of the things where Fear the Walking Dead has done that time and time again, where they brought characters in or brought a story arc in, and then they just abandoned them or killed them off. And they were like, oh, like, how about the kids on Fear the Walking Dead? They were a big part of, was that season 5, I think? Is that what that was? And then we didn't see them again. How about the whole thing with Mexico? And how about the whole thing with the Alba, the boat, or the Alba, the boat that they have? It's just like one of those things where they abandoned stuff so quickly on there too, and it's just like they don't really think things out of where this story is going. Then we'll bring in CRM, and they bring in Althea, and they bring in June, and they bring in John, and they bring in this, and they bring in there, and then they're like, okay, well, they bring in, like the guy before Ginny, right? And you're like, what? He was there, and you're like, boom, gone, killed him, he's gone. And then Ginny's there, and then boom, gone, took her out. And then Teddy, boom, gone, took him out. And then boom, it's like crazy where they're doing all these things over and over again. And yeah, you have to get rid of characters time and time again, but I just feel like Fear the Walking Dead has abandoned the Abigail. That's what it was. Thank you. I couldn't remember the Abigail. And it just seems like the storyline is jumping here and there and jumps around too much, or there's not been a nice way of progressing the story with the characters on there as well. I don't know. Yeah, Negan one says, I think the boat Abigail was a cheap way to film episodes. I like the idea of it. Don't get me wrong. Again, I stand by that. I like the idea of Fear the Walking Dead. The execution is crazy. It's just there too. Carol asks Q&A, don't answer if a spoiler, but will Phil see his old partner? I can't answer that. I can neither confirm nor deny that there. But I just want to say that I set things up on purpose, and I bring things around on purpose. Hopefully it's rewarding to the readers. And I have a certain plan in my head for a lot of these characters, and I just want to say that Phil is definitely involved with something there too. That's all I want to say. But I think it's a rewarding thing for that story too. So yeah, yeah. It's a pretty cool topic, and I definitely like talking about this series. But I don't want to give anything away because I don't know what book people are on and stuff, and I don't want to give too much away for the story. And it's just you got to get there when you get there, and you got to keep reading it. But stuff is answered. That's for sure. So there you go, guys. That's my, well, I got 20 seconds left, and I'll keep going for that too. But I'm excited to see where the future of the Walking Dead universe is going, because the Fear of the Walking Dead has come a long way. It's had its ups and downs, and I hope it ends on a high note. So if season 8 is really good, great, outstanding, sets the tone for the series and does it the other two, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see it there too. So I'm definitely excited to see Fear the Walking Dead now, more so than before the trailer released. We'll see how it goes down with the survivors and who actually makes out. The Daryl show, as far as I know, they have not started filming season 2 yet, but there's been, different talk about it. People definitely said that they're going to start filming the second season, go right into it. But if Norman's back in New York, they're definitely not filming in New York. They're filming there too. But we'll have to see when we find out more information about that. And the spoiler people have been out, man. They've been getting great information, photos, videos, clips, everything of really everything so far. They have pictures and video footage of all 3 shows. They have Dead City stuff that's out, Daryl stuff that's out, and Rick and Michonne stuff that's out. They got photos, they got first look stuff, spoiler information. There's a bunch of everything going around, which I guess it's really tough to stop people from getting information with camera phones. But there you go, guys. That's my hour. Thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate all love and support. I'll be back next Sunday for a live stream, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock East Coast time. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Keep working hard, guys. Whatever it is, I'll be back next Sunday. Stay tuned for the channel. I'll be posting videos all week, some different stuff. I'll probably do my full Fear the Walking Dead trailer breakdown, among other things. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you very much. We appreciate the love and support. See